Hi everybody. I wanted to show you today how to do two different things. How to make these fun embellishments and this embellishment. Two things that are pretty much from complete trash or 90% trash. And so I'm going to show you both these things. This one I watched somebody else do. This one I just kind of made up on my own. So let's start with that one. So what I use is napkins that you get at Starbucks, any kind of napkins that are this kind of brown color. Whenever I order a drink or I think food mostly, they give me these. We're in the Pacific Northwest, so there's lots of ordering at Starbucks. So you take one of these, and I like to use a long strip. So I'll take this edge here, and I just cut a strip about that wide, maybe ½ inch to an inch wide. So there's my strip, and then I use Aleene's tacky, and then I just use a punch. I have a punch that's the scalloped, here I'll do this one, a scalloped round punch, but you could use any punch or any round thing, or you could just cut out a circle. So, and then I just take my Aleene's and I put it on the back. Ooh, that came out fast. I just, right around the edge, I'm gonna put it. And then I just start to, I actually hold it usually right here. And I just start to attach and ruffle. And because the napkin is so thin, the Aleene's goes through a couple layers, and I just keep kind of ruffling and turning. Ruffle and turn, ruffle and turn. I like the Aleene's the best for this because it's tacky, and so it holds a little bit, but then it's also still movable. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. And if it's not sticking, like right there, it's not sticking, I'm just going to add a little bit more glue and keep going. And a lot of times, yep, this one too, I need to use 2 strips. So that does about halfway. Ooh, I got a lot of glue on that one. And then I'll just cut another strip, and it doesn't matter if it's the same width. I'm not measuring. And I'll put a little glue on the edge to start it out, and then I just attach it right there, and I keep ruffling. And this is so nice because it's really thin. It's almost like crepe paper, and I make this nice little rosette from recycled material. And then when it's kind of, I overlap the first couple and then go back, add some glue. If there's any places that need a little extra glue, I'd glue them down, and there's my rosette. And then you can add anything to them. So this one, I added a little cutout that I'd had in my stash. I don't know where it's from, but you could add anything to them. I also made some different variations of this. So this one was, I actually hand cut this circle-ish type thing from the inside of an envelope, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And then I did the rosette technique with fabric, scrap fabric, and then on the back I put another junk mail inside of the junk mail envelope, and I hand cut that too. And you're gonna see in the next segment how I hand cut these anyway, because these were actually left over from my next little show and tell project. So yeah, and then this is actually really stiff, and so then I did that one, and then I did this one, same thing, but I put on top of it, I put a stamp that I had received in the mail. So this is like the black part here is where I attached the napkin, and underneath here is another piece of junk mail, and then I put on the stamp. So I made a whole bunch of these. These were just some that I made ahead of time, and then now I can put stuff on them. So I mean, that was really, really quick and fun. It's really fun to do. You can do it while watching TV. It's really great. And then this kind of just builds your stash. And now I have a whole bunch of things to put in Happy Mail or in my journal if I want to put something there. I have a little thing I can just, you know, if I have a little ticket from something, I can add it, or whatever I'm doing. So that's the first thing. The second thing are these flowers, and I did not come up with this at all. But these flowers are made entirely from envelopes. And if you see on the inside of the envelope, they have some really interesting patterns. Look at this one. This was like, oh my gosh, coveted. Look at that pattern. So I really like the black and white ones, but there's blue too. So I'm going to show you kind of how I deconstruct an envelope and how I make these. For this project you'll need these envelopes, which again I had so many, and then some sort of brad, or this one I used needle and thread and a button. So I think I like the brad one better. So that's what I'm going to make. So the first thing I do is I take my envelope, and just for easy, quick, I just cut down the side, and the top's already open, but I would cut over the top if I didn't have it already open. And then I open it up, and look at all that real estate. Okay, so usually I just cut a square to start with, and cut another square, just kind of to make it square. Okay, so then let's see if I can remember how to do this. It's been a little bit of time. I usually cut or fold in half this way, and then fold in half this way, and then I fold diagonally. Okay, and it's a little thick, but then I just take and I either scallop, or I, you know, do little zigzags, or whatever you want your flower edge to be. I'll do a little zigzag on this one. And then here you have the start of your flower. So that could be a good background. If you see on these ones, that's what I used for this back part. See that? Okay, so there's one, and then I usually go and try to find some sort of contrasting envelope. So like that's a lot of white with a little bit of black. So here's a lot of black with a little bit of white. That's what I mean by contrasting. So, and then I'll cut another square. See how easy this is? You could even pre-cut all your squares. I didn't even think about that till right now. Then you wouldn't have to deal with all the little, you know, windows and stuff. But then fold in half, and then diagonal. And then maybe this one I'll scallop. And you can get pretty intricate at this cutting part. These are not very sharp scissors, but there we go. And then let's see. These have a lot of, there's my next layer. And then I would keep going. So this one I have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. And I actually used just a black piece of paper as one of my layers. That was a find. So if you have some black piece of paper, because a lot of these are pretty white, and I like to have a little bit of contrast. And then all I do is, if that's the flower I want, well, let's do one more layer. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, look at this one. Look at how cool that one is. Oh my gosh. Sorry, it's just like, it's almost like having scrapbook paper sent to you for free. Just kidding. But it really is like a find. I feel like it's a find. How cool is that? So I'll do a little one. So we'll do a little one here. This will be the center of this flower. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfectly square. I'm not measuring, just going for it. Okay, and then there we go. So here's a 3-layer one. And sometimes before I go any further, I've either added black or white. So for this one, I've added white. So I just took some gesso and went like that over it with my finger, actually. And you can see like little bits of gesso here. Okay, over the black. This one, I took my black stamp pad and went over it. And it just went over the edges and it made the edges black. So you could do either of those, but all I do is I just pre-drill a hole. So I take a push pin, push it right down in the center, and then take my brad, and that push pin hole just kind of helps go. And this is just a gold brad, which I thought would be a nice, there we go. So see how this one's flat and this one's kind of dimensional? So to make it dimensional, before you put the brad in, you just kind of curl it up. I'll take it out and show you. But I mean, the possibilities are endless. You could do this, I like to do it with black and white. I just think they're really cool, but you could do it with all sorts of things. So see, I just kind of crush and it makes the flower kind of pop up. Just kind of doo-doo-doo. So these are just like, you know, trashy embellishments that are basically free. So now, because I scrunched it up, it's gonna make it more dimensional. Put my brad back through that hole. You know, and I don't care if it rips a little bit, I don't care. But these are great for swaps or to give somebody as a gift. Wow, where's that hole? There it is. Or on a gift, you know, as a little topper on a present. And then, you know, I'll just kind of move it the way I want it. It's kind of moved. There. So I love these. You could do so much with these. I haven't even started to kind of go through my stash, but you could do a color combination like I did black and white. You totally could use fabric. That would be really awesome. I was thinking maybe tea bags would be a good one to do, or tea stained paper, any junk mail. In fact, you know what I've been wanting to do? I've been wanting to do it out of like a magazine or like a free catalog that you get in the mail. Let me see if I have one real quick. Okay, I didn't want to make this that long, but here is a magazine. I'm just going to tear out some pages. So let's do like pink. So I'm going to just try to find some different pinks. Because, you know, flowers are pink. Ooh, look at that. Something pink, pink, pink. Just, you know, go through your magazine really quickly and just try to find pink. Or whatever color that you want. Da, da, da. More pink, more pink. Well, that's 4, so that's good enough. So then I'm just gonna, like, here's a great little area of pink. So I'm just gonna cut out the pink. And there's a good pink area here. That's big, huh? That would be a really big flower. So pink, pink. It's kind of a purpley pink. And some black. It's nice to have a little bit of contrast. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3. This is a crazy ad. It's one of those here. That's better. Ooh, look at all that pink. Take that out. I don't want that smelly stuff. Maybe you do, but I don't. Okay, so I feel like this is enough for 2 flowers. So I'm going to cut this one down. Okay, so let's start with this in the background being number 1. So again, fold it, fold it, fold it on the corner. And I mean, scallops are really easy. So there's number 1. That'll be my background. And then, or yeah, that'll be my background. And then I like this one. And this one. So this will be a smaller one. And if you have really small scissors, I don't have really small scissors. In fact, that's something on my list to buy. That would be helpful. So here's another one, and sometimes I don't go, you know, in order. Sometimes I'll make something go, oh, you know, that's too big. So, and it's okay, like one could be, it's okay, it doesn't matter. There's another part. So yeah, I love doing these. When the kids go to bed, I have known to sit down at the dining room table and make these. And you can get fancy with your petal shape. Right now I'm just trying to do it kind of quickly, but so there's a smaller one maybe. And this one's really big. Let's make a big one. I love this pink. I'm not a pink girl, but I'm starting to be. It's like I've kind of hated pink for a really long time. It's like, why do I hate pink? It's just light red, and I don't know. But you can get kind of fancy with your petal shape. Let me see if I can do this. This is where a small scissor would help, or a sharper scissor. Like a fancy petal shape like that. Okay, so whoa, that's really big. I almost feel like I could go like that. That's kind of cool. So you got to be careful with magazine paper, but yeah, I didn't plan any of this ahead, obviously. I had to go get the magazine, and so then I'm gonna get my brad. 1 minute. Get a brad out. Ooh, and you know what? Pink and gold go awesome together. And I'm just gonna pre-drill my holes, and I think I'm gonna set this one off to the side a little bit, and then set this one off to the side. Yeah. Like that. And then there's that one. And you could add so many layers. I'm just kind of doing this on the fly. So, there we go. So a trashy, ooh, a trashy flower for you. There we go. Wow, I made a mess, but I also made some art. So we got some flowers here. Okay, and then we also made some rosettes. I'll see if I can figure out who made these first. I don't know. But some rosettes. So I hope you enjoy my little trashy embellishments. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.